Good morning.
I'm just waiting for the other two. Yeah. Okay. Any doubts from yesterday's session?
No, all good.
Okay. Yeah. Today we are going to discuss about the types of systems that we have in SuccessFactors. In SuccessFactors, we have two types of system. The first one is called provisioning, and second is called the instance. Provisioning access is only given to certified consultants. Only given to certified consultants. An instance can be logged in by any user. It can be consultant, it can be admin, or it can be a end user. If you have credentials, if you have user created in the system, you can log into instance. Whereas the provisioning, only the certified consultants can log in. So what do we do in provisioning? We do the initial setup in provisioning system. Always, for any customer, when we start the implementation, the first few tasks are done in the provisioning system. So 5 to 10% of your configuration is done in provisioning system. Rest of the 90 to 95% of the configuration, you do it in the instance. Though we do a very little activities in provisioning system, it is very important to have this configuration to do the rest of the configuration in instance. Okay, so will not be doing any kind of configuration. We don't call it as configuration. We enable or disable the services that are required or not required for the customers. Example, within Employee Central, we have many features. Within Employee Central, we have many features. Similarly, for other modules also. So all of these features may not be applicable for all the customers. Example, good example can be your global assignment. You have a feature called global assignment, which is required only for customers who operates from different countries, and if they have policy of sending their employees on a long and short-term assignment. Let's say I'm working for one of the company here in India, and we operate from other country, USA also. Okay, and I am asked to work from US for next 6 months or next 1 year. Okay, it could be a short term or it could be a long term assignment. My home assignment is always India, but because of some project work, I have to work from US. Okay, I'll be working there and I'll be back to my home assignment. So that is called global assignment. It's called global assignment. Now, this is not required for all customers. If this is required, first you enable it in the provisioning system. You have to enable it in the provisioning system. Similarly, we have languages. We can enable the system languages. We can enable different languages in system. Now, if we go to Spain or France or China or Japan, there the main language is not English. They have their own local language. Okay, and if your customer want to have, if you are implementing for a customer in China and you want them to have the instance in their own language, you can enable that particular language. So these languages are enabled in provisioning system. So we have different settings which we do in provisioning system by enabling or disabling them. All of those features what are required for your customer, we enable it from the provisioning system. And then the configuration, now here, once we enable the global assignment, what configuration you want to do in the global assignment, how many assignments you want to have, what are the fields that you want to maintain while global assignment. So all of those configurations, you'll be doing it in the instance. Okay, same thing, languages, you enable it in provisioning, you do the configuration, what is the field label that you want to see for each field. So that configuration, you'll be doing it in the instance. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now next topic is the data centers. Data centers are where we have the database located. Now, all of the data that we store, that we process, that we manage for these instances, okay, is stored in one of the data centers. And we have the data centers globally. We have data centers at different regions, like all of the US customers. Let's say my data centers are numbered as DC4, DC8, DC10, DC11, DC50, DC60, and so on. We have these data centers with these numbers. Now let's say DC4 is in US. All the customers of US region will have their instances routing to this particular data center. Now in yesterday's session, we discussed that customers will be having dev, quality, and production system. Customers will be having dev, quality, and production system. So now let me add it here. Okay, so this is DC4. Now here we have customer. So these are all customers of US. All of these customers will have dev, quality, and production system. Dev, quality, and production system. Some customers can have additional system. Let's say this customer has got pre-production. This customer has got QA. This customer has got both pre-prod and, test. Okay. Now this customer has got only 3 systems. This customer has got 4. This customer has got 4, and this customer has got 5. So it is up to the customer how many systems that they want to have. Now, when I said dev, quality, and production, they'll have both dev provisioning, dev instance, quality provisioning, quality instance, production provisioning, and production instance. Okay. So for all of these customers, you will see both provisioning and instance. And this data, whatever data that we store in the that we store and process here, it gets stored in the data center. And your application is installed in data center. The SuccessFactors application is installed in this data center. Okay. Again, this data center is split into 2 parts. We call them DC04 preview and DC04 production. Call it preview and production. Data center is split into 2 parts, DC preview and production. Now, out of the 3 systems that we have, production will always be in production data center. This is DC404 production data center. Every customer's production system will be in production data center. It will be in production data center. The quality system can also be in production data center. And preview, it can be in preview. Now, dev can be in preview or quality can be in preview. Or dev can be in production, quality can be in production. Anything can happen. But production will always be in production data center. One of it should be in preview. Usually it is a dev which would be in preview system. Dev would be a preview system and this would be a production system. So if I have one additional system, this pre-production can be either in preview or in production. Text can be in preview or in production. Pre-production can be in preview and production. Both of them can be in preview. Both of them can be in production. One of it can be in preview and one of it can be production. So it can be anyway. The thumb rule is production will always be in production data center, and rest of the instances, it is up to the customer. Either it can be in the preview or in production. So why do we have this setup? Why we have two different, why the data center is split into two, and what is preview and what is production system? Now, data centers are segregated into two categories, preview and production, because of release management. Because of release management. Now, every 6 months, in yesterday's session, we discussed that every 6 months, SuccessFactors would be updating their servers. Now, this server would be updated the latest version. When the upgrade happens, it is always the preview systems which would be updated. And after 1 month, your production system will be updated. When the release happens, when some new things are introduced into the system, it may happen that the existing functionalities get impacted. Okay, so when the release happens, we'll first log into one of the preview system. Let's say it happened in this preview system. So we log into preview system and see if there is any impact on the existing functionalities, existing configurations, whether all of those configurations what we have done earlier are working correctly or not. So we have a time of 1 month to check the impact, to do the impact analysis, or to understand the latest features. We have 1 month of time. After 1 month, it would be getting updated in the production system. So when the release happens, it happens to all the customers. Customers will not have a choice whether the release should happen or not. Customers will not have a choice. Every customers, once the data center gets updated, so all of those customers who are in that data center will see the latest functionalities or the latest release. Now, once the release happens, as a consultant, we need to go through all of those release features, understand what are important for your customer, test if there is any impact on the existing functionalities, prepare a document with all of the changes that customer should know. Now, these changes could be related to the customers, the end user interface, or it can be related to the configuration. Now, if it is related to the configuration, it is not required for the customer to know. You should know. As a consultant, you should know. Maybe few things what were not available earlier are now available in the system. So you should know what are those new release features. You should understand those new release features. Okay, and you should prepare a document and explain it to the customer that with this release, we can see that there are so many release features, and then each of these release features, like this is used for this is used for this. So we need to prepare a document how the screen looks earlier and how the screen, how is the screen looking now? What is the change? Now, how does it impact their business process? So that we need to explain. Clear
Okay.
on data centers?
Yes.
Venu,
Yes,
I
sir.
have one question like if release came, so it will be deployed in test to clone, correct? First from SAP side test system. So if by mistakenly in our system they mention it is deployed in test system, when we check from our end as a consultant, but it is not enable that feature in the test system. So how there is how we can enable release feature in upgrade center, that one.
Yeah. Now, when the release happens, it is happening in the data center. It is not for each customer,
Mhm.
not each customer's instance separately. It happens to all the customers of that particular data center. So this is getting updated. DC4 preview is getting updated. We have 100 customers or 500 customers in this DC4 preview. All of their systems would be updated.
Yes.
Okay. and you have a fixed dates. You have fixed dates for this release. And on that particular date, the data center is getting updated. There is no way that customer can say that now my system is not updated. Because you are in that particular, every customer's system should be in one of the data centers, and these data centers will be updated on that particular day. Okay. Now we have different kinds of release features that I'll explain you. What are those? Where do we see that? That we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. There's no way that customers' system will not be updated even
Okay.
after the release, because it is happening in the data center and not individual customer. Okay.
Yes.
Now the release management contains different features like universal feature or automatically on. Now earlier, before 1 year, we were calling these release features as universal features. Now we are calling them automatically on. Okay. Now, when you are facing interviews, you will know if somebody is asking you about the release management features, they might ask you what are the universal features or what are admin opt-ins. But again, when they say universal, it is automatically on, because we have been using this naming from last 10 years. Okay. Suddenly they changed it to automatically on. Now we are calling them as automatically on. Okay. And then we have admin opt-ins, or you can say customer configured. And we have provisioning opt-ins. We call them contact enablement partner or contact product support. Okay. Mainly these are the three features that you will see in each release. Universal or automatically on. These are the features which gets automatically updated after the release. With that release, you will see some changes for all the customers across the globe. It gets updated in their system. Okay. And you don't have to do anything. Just have to go test whether it is working fine or not. Second is admin opt-ins. Now, admin opt-ins, if you want to have these features enabled, you need to do some configuration steps. There are some prerequisites to enable these features. Customers who doesn't use or doesn't want to have, they can just leave it. Or let's say there is a feature related to global assignment. There's a feature related to global assignment, and my customer is not using global assignment, so they don't have to bother about that particular opt-in. Okay. Or the global assignment is enabled, but this feature they don't want to have, so they can leave it. If they feel that yes, this is important, it is important to have this feature enabled, we can go and enable. We need to do some configuration. So SAP would be giving us some configuration steps, the prerequisites to that feature. Okay. And these are instance related. And the third is provisioning opt-ins. Third is provisioning opt-ins. You can see these new options or new features in provisioning. Again, this can be enabled or disabled. That's why they're called provisioning opt-ins. If you want to use it, opt it. If you don't want, opt out. So you have both opt-in and opt-outs. Opt-in is enable, opt-out is just by default it is enable, and you just have to remove if you don't want to use it. So these are the 3 or 4 release features that we have.
Please repeat
And
admin opt-ins.
admin opt-ins. Okay. Now, admin opt-ins may not be required for all customers. Now here any universal feature, because these are applicable for all customers, or whether they are applicable or not, it gets updated in the system. Whereas admin opt-in, every customer has a choice whether to use it or not. Now, some customers, if they feel that it is important to use it, they'll use it. Some customers feel that it is not required for them, they can leave it. They don't have to configure it. So somebody has to configure something to see that admin opt-in.
Yeah, can you give an example of
Yeah,
admin
we'll see that. We'll see that. I'll show
So
you.
what is the difference between admin opt-ins and provisioning opt-ins? Both are the same now, what you told.
Admin opt-ins are done in instance. We discussed here there are two systems, right? Instance and provisioning.
Okay.
Provisioning opt-ins are enabled, disabled in provisioning. Admin opt-ins are enabled or disabled in instance. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So all of this release information, you will find it in a portal called community.successfactors.com. Community.sap.com, then SuccessFactors. This is that URL. Okay, I'll have it here. When you go to community.successfactors.com, here you'll see SAP SuccessFactors 1H 2024. Okay. Now, these release features, because the release happens twice a year, we call them as 1H and 2H. 1H is first half of the year, 2H is second half of the year. So now the current version that we have is 1H 2024. And the next release would be 2H 2024. Next release would be 1H 2025. 2H 2025.
Is there any fixed date?
Yes, we have a fixed date. Now you see here, SAP SuccessFactors 1H 2024 product release. Okay, now you click on product release and roadmap information. First half is already updated. And the second half, you see here, preview October 14th and production November 15th. We have a time gap of 1 month here. Preview is going to happen on 14th of October. You'll see all the release features in preview systems on 14th of October, and the production release you will see it on November 15th. Usually on Friday midnight, Saturday early hours. By Saturday early hours, you will see the new release features. Clear on the dates?
Okay.
This is on the dates. Now this is already updated. 1H 2024 is recently updated.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now 1H 2024, the release happened, and we have now the next upcoming release, which is second half or 2H 2024. Now all of the 1H related documents, you will find them here, release documents. Everything you need to know about the new features. And if you go and see here, what's new Viewer 1H available now. Just before 1 week of the release, like October 14th, it is going to update in previous system. By October 5th or 7th, SAP would be scheduling some webinars just to explain what are the new release features. Okay, just the high level overview of the major release features. Okay. Now, and here you will find all of the information, and after 14th, you will find all of the information here. Now, the first half release also happened in the similar way. It happened in the month of April, the preview, and in the May, it updated the production release. So after updating in the preview, so they will provide you all the information here in what's new viewer available now. Okay, here you will see all the release functionalities. You'll see all the release functionalities. Now there are around 370 entries. That means there are 370 release features which have come in 1H 2024. This is software version 1H 2024. 370 is for all the modules, not only for Employee Central. For each module, you'll have some release functionalities. and then totaling to 370. Okay. Now I want to see only Employee Central related release features. You go and just filter on Employee Central. So these are the modules. I'll go select Employee Central. Now within Employee Central, we have 91 features. Within Employee Central, we have 91 features. And then enablement, you see here, customer configured. You have customer configured, which is admin opt-in, contact product support. Okay, there are certain features which we need to check with SAP. If you want to use them, we may have to contact product support. Contact enablement partner is the provisioning opt-in. You need to consult your implementation partner. So who will have provisioning access? Here we have discussed that provisioning of to access provisioning, you need to be a certified consultant. Certified consultants will be working with implementation partners, right? So indirectly, directly or indirectly, here when you see some release features related to the contact enablement partner, the implementation partner, because certified consultants have to log into provisioning and enable or disable those services. Contact customer engagement executive or account manager, both of them are same. One is if you don't have a partner associated with you, you can check with SAP. Okay. And then last one is automatically on. So we would be mostly focusing on automatically on. So these days you will not see much of the release features in the provisioning opt-ins. Provisioning opt-ins would be majorly some features, they will be moving out from provisioning to instance. They're trying to cut down the dependency of provisioning. So what they are doing is they are making few options available in instance instead of going to provisioning. Now this features what we have discussed, global assignment. Now we can enable that from the instance also. In one of the release, they have made it available from instance also. Now instead of going to provisioning and enable the global assignment, we can do it on our own in instance. So similarly, if they feel that some feature can be moved out from provisioning to instance, they'll be adding it in one of these. Okay, now out of 91 release features, there are 91 release features in EC. Okay, so I want to see all of those 91, select all. It is showing only 25, I'll enable all the 91. And within Employee Central, there might be some minor or major updates. There might be some minor or major updates. So you see here, information only under action. Some features are just for your information. Okay. And some features are recommended. These are recommended to have in the system. And some of them are required. Every customer should know this. Required. Recommended is, it is useful, but if you want, you can enable, or you don't want, you can just leave it. And then life cycle, yesterday we discussed deleted, deprecated, availability, restricted availability. Now here, deleted means some functionalities which SAP feels that is no longer needed in the system. They will be deleting it. Deprecated means some features which are, which we have alternate version, the new version available. So they will be deprecating the. Now deprecated, they would be deprecated in this release, or they would be deprecating in coming releases. So you'll see those features in deprecated. General availability for all customers. Restricted availability only if you have a license to see that. Now there are some features like artificial intelligence, okay, or story reports. Now you need to consult with SAP, pay the license, additional license what they have, and then start using those functionalities. Those are restricted availability, only for few customers who want to have it. You can see those release features as well. Now, if I'm enabling, if I'm only just selecting them, then it will also filter, but it contains all of the features. Now, within Employee Central, we have many features. Some features may be related to position management, some features related to global assignment, some features related to or specific to only a particular country or particular language. So you can have them either in the feature wise. You go here, feature, API, okay, interface related, okay, applicant management, only if your application is linked with your recruiting or onboarding module, so applicant management or the candidate management, okay, applicant status related. Bonus, business configuration is required for every customer, business rules are required for every customer, okay. Clock in, clock out is only required if you have enabled time off. Okay, otherwise not required. Compensation worksheet is required only if you are using compensation module. Concurrent employment only if you are using concurrent employment option. Contingent workforce is for workers, and if you are using, you can enable them. Country or region specific, only specific to some particular countries, you will see those release features. Data import and export, every customer use. Employee central compensation, every customer uses. Okay, hire, rehire, every customer uses. Homepage, every customer uses. So I'm just selecting some release features so that we only see the important ones, which are required for every customer. Job information. Job postings is required only if you are using recruiting module. Job relationship, everybody use. Same thing. Job requisition, only RCM related, recruiting use. Joel is artificial intelligence. Again, if you have enabled, you will see this. Otherwise, you will not see. Metadata framework, everyone see. Mobile, everyone see. Offer approvals and onboarding, these are related to recruiting and onboarding module. Org management, everybody will see.
Benu,
Payment information, everybody will see.
hi, Benu.
Yes.
This Joel you explained, no? So for that, the end user has to pay extra.
Yes, this is artificial intelligence related. There are some features which SuccessFactors is giving on a license based. Like if you have, you will have to pay some amount to enable that service in the system. The standard license doesn't include. We have different licenses. Okay, you can take license only for one module, like Employee Central. I want to implement only Employee Central, but not other talent modules. You pay less amount of subscription fee. You want to use all the modules, you pay a bulk amount. Or you want to use Employee Central and some other module, you pay some other fee. Okay. Now, similarly, this one, Joule or the artificial intelligence is also has a separate license fee. You want to see that, you will have to pay additional amount.
I think it is newly implemented.
Yes, it is newly. Now, slowly they are trying to build the some functionalities in artificial intelligence using AI.
Benu, sorry to interrupt. So I just joined now. So the documentation, this help portal, like, how is where is this and what is this actually? Is this a special feature or like every like consultants they will be like having access to it or
Yeah, consultants will be having. I'll be talking about S-user IDs. I'll explain you how to log in here.
Okay. So these are all like there is there like the selected features. So we just saw like the features that so the onboarding things or learning things and everything. So are they the templates?
No, I didn't get you. For template meaning?
These are like default features already set up during the release or what is it exactly?
I have explained them some time back. You can go through the recording. Okay.
Okay.
So what are the different types of features which are enabled by default, which are to be configured? All of those things we have already discussed. Okay. Yeah, you can
I'll
go through the recording once. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have enabled only some of the release features. Now you see, I've filtered only some which are applicable for all the customers across the globe. Okay, you need workflows as well. Okay, so there are around 36 release features which are common and are available for every customer. Okay, now in this 36, Okay, now there could be some additional ones also depending on the customer's availability. If I see here, I can see the title of the enhancement, upgrade feature, and then the description of it, product within Employee Central, what is it related to, module and product, okay, feature, life cycle, whether it is available, general availability or deprecated or deleted, okay, you can see that in the life cycle, and then action, you see recommended or required. Recommended, it is useful, and required, it is mandatorily used, okay, and enablement, you will see here, automatically on. Automatically on are enabled for all customers by default with that release. Whereas the customer configured, you will have to do some configuration. And for each of these release features, if you want to go and look at the details, you can click on See More. Click on See More and open up the documentation of it. Now, these are all release features here. Okay, you can download this PDF. This is a PDF which contains all the release features, all the 370 odd release features. Okay, PDF document. Even these can also be downloaded. This can be downloaded into CSV or also into PDF here. PDF and CSV. Okay, now individual each of these release features in details, you will find the information here. Configuration available in Configuration Transport Center. Okay, so there are some configurations which are available in Configuration Transport Center. So what are those? They have given all of these options here. I've given all of the options. So now these are customer configured. What does it say? These are customer configured. Customer configured means there would be some prerequisites. On the configuration activities tab, we have removed the optimistic locking configuration options from here. Employee Central, you need to go to Employee Central, configure person and employment data, company settings, and then MDF object definition. We'll have to go, they have made some changes here. We have made these changes as part of transition from instance synchronization tool to Configuration Transport Center. Okay, now these are some of the changes. Now within Configuration Transport Center, these are some of the changes that they have done. A new group type called workflow groups is now supported. Okay, you can view and transport workflow groups in the Configuration Transport Center. What should we do? The workflow groups was previously called Configure Workflows and Employee Central Alerts and located under Employee Central Configuration area. So it gives you information about each and every feature of it. Okay, now this is automatically and you don't have to do anything for this release feature. Now if I go here, this is automatically on.
Venu, sorry to disturb you. If we see admin optants, that is customer configuration. So according to project requirement, they enable or keep disable the feature, correct?
Yes.
But
now,
yeah.
We don't see if it is required, we enable it for the customers. We don't keep on enabling and disabling it. Once enabled, once you started using it, you'll keep it as it is.
Yes, but in where we enable in instance.
Now we have different pages. Now I'll give you an example. Now here, this is the home page. When you log in, this is the home page or landing page. Okay. Now here, if you see, there are some quick actions. Okay, there is some release feature related to quick actions. I'll just show you that. You see, new task entries for Employee Central quick actions in Microsoft Teams.
Yes.
With the integration of SAP SuccessFactors and Microsoft 365, we introduced several new task entries for Manage My Data and Manage My Team quick actions in Microsoft Teams. So this is one new and enhanced, okay, Employee Central quick actions in mobile apps. On your mobile device, we have additionally added employee central quick action. This is one. Okay. And then new my team position page and employee central quick actions for positions. Now, these are available in the system. Maybe we don't see them here. Okay. Now, if I go to manage home page, okay, somewhere we have all of these quick actions available.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you go here and look at all the quick actions that are available. Now, by default, system allows you to have only up to 16 quick actions. Now, this was not available earlier. This was not available earlier. Now, this has been made available in the recent release. Okay. 5 colors and 1 color. You see, now on the home page, you see different quick actions with different colors because we have selected here
Yes.
5 colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 colors. So that's why on the home page, we see these quick actions in 5 different colors. Okay. No, I don't want to have in 5 different colors. I want to have only 1 color. You can just select this option. Now this is now admin opt-in. Earlier we didn't have this option of selecting 5 different colors or 1 color. But this is now made available. So here we can choose. Okay. And then similarly, we have here quick actions. All of these quick actions, these are enabled. Some of them are not enabled. See this is not enabled. This is not enabled. Okay. And you can also configure some custom quick actions also. So these are all the quick actions, but only some of them are enabled. Now, they have made few additional quick actions available here. If required, those can be enabled from here. Now, if you feel that some of these are not required or not important, now we have enabled more than 16 release features, more than 16 quick actions here. All of them will not see all these 16. Now, if I am a manager, I see some additional quick actions. Now, if I am just an employee, I will not see that manager action. I will see one additional action here. Okay.
Yes.
Because more than 16 are enabled, let's say 20 are enabled. For managers, there are 4. So when I log in, I will see the first prioritized 16. Employees will not see those which are specific to managers. They will see the other 16. Okay. Now here, manage my team. I can go click on, if I am a manager, I can go and manage my team here. I can see all my direct reports data here. If I am not a manager, there's no point in showing my team, right? So this will not show up for an employee, individual employee. Okay. Now we have options to enable, disable that through some pages, and they will be giving that information here.
Okay.
Okay. Now again, if you see AI assisted person insights for compensation discussion, and this is related to business artificial intelligence. Okay. Generative AI. This is information only. Okay. Now you see contact customer engagement executive or account manager, because we need to purchase the license to use the artificial intelligence related features. So we need to contact SAP here. Okay. This one is customer configured. This one is customer configured. Now customer configured, you can go and enable or disable this through configuration requirement. You see here, you need to go enable this and do this setting to see that functionality. I'll give you an example. Now, the same example. Now what happens is, if I am searching for an employee here in SuccessFactors, earlier you click on some employee name, it takes me to that employee. It takes me to this employee. Now this is the standard functionality which was available earlier. Okay, with this release, they have come up with new and enhanced application specific. Oh, no, this is not rule scenarios. This is this one. This one. Here, they have come up with new experience for people profile. People profile is a page where you see all information about one employee. Okay, now here, I can search for the employee and then navigate to that employee details. People profile page, I can directly go there. But with this release, they have come up with one setting called new people profile page, new experience. Here we have new experience. I have disabled it because I don't want to see that. Okay.
Okay.
Now here I have option of new profile page and org chat. Save. Now what happens if I go to home page? This is my home page. Here, if I search for the same employee, okay, click on the employee, it opens up the spotlight view. You see here, is that? Scroll here. It says it opens up the spotlight view. Here is what people profile looks like now. Okay, and then here is what spotlight looks like now. Now again, I go click on show spotlight. It opens up this information. It shows me some basic information here. Again, if you click on the people profile page here, full profile, it opens up the actual people profile of this employee. Earlier, it was showing me by default, right?
Yes.
Now, because we have enabled it, it is showing me the spotlight view as well. Now, this is available for all the employees, okay? And individual employees can also go and control. Now, you see here, there is one option, additional option called public profile available now. This shows the individual's profile. Now, I have logged in, so it is showing my profile, public profile. Okay. Now, if I go to settings, now as an individual, I don't want to use that functionality. So I have the option of disabling that functionality for myself only. This is only myself. Others, when they log in, they will see the spotlight view. But me, I will not see. Now, if I go and search, it takes me to directly to that particular profile page. It is not showing me the spotlight view. But if I log in as someone else, for them, it will show up the spotlight because it is enabled in the system, but only for this user, it is not enabled. So you don't see that public profile also here. This is the major change that has happened in this release.
Venu,
Okay.
I heard that they are releasing in any particular date, right? So what is
I've shown you, right? See here, second, now first half is already updated. Every customer will see those changes. But
first half when it will come? When it
first half has already come. Now if I
No,
go and
when?
see here,
Okay.
sorry,
When did it come?
in the month of May, I think May 19th or some 20th, 21st.
So it is May constant, right?
What is May constant?
Means the release is constant for all, means every May this first release will come, correct?
April, May. April is preview release, May is production release.
Okay.
Okay. Somewhere 18th or 19th, it got updated. Okay. Now, if I want to check my software version, I can go to show version information. It shows up here. Okay. Release is 2405. 2405 means year 24 and 05 is the month. May. And when the second half release happens, this release happens, okay, then it will show 2411. Always the production date, November, right? Usually October, November. October is a preview release, November is a production release. Every year the same thing. The dates might vary. Clear? Now I have these documents uploaded in the drive. Okay, you can go through these release features. Now, sometimes in your interviews, you might be asked, what are some of the new release features? Now, every consultant has to work on these release features. As a consultant, you should know what is available, what has come in this release. Okay. Now, you should know here now, without knowing, I don't know how to enable or disable. Now suddenly something comes up into the system, because here there are universal features which are applicable for all customers, which are enabled by default for everybody. So you should know that that particular feature is available now. Or if there is a features which is admin opt-in, you should know how to enable it or how to disable it. That as a consultant, your customer will ask you, end user will ask you. Now with this release, I suddenly see the spotlight view coming up, how to enable it, how to disable it. I don't want to see it now, how to. Now this, we have an option now to enable or disable. Maybe in the coming releases, SuccessFactors may make it universal change for everybody, and everybody has to go and see that spotlight view. Now they might come up with that change. Now they have given option to choose, but later they may say that no, everybody has to use it, then will not have that feature to enable or disable. Okay, I'm just giving you an example, not necessarily that they have to make it mandatory. Okay, clear on release features, admin opt-ins,
Yes.
universal features, contact product support.
Kind of. I will go through the recordings and then I'll just ask for a few more questions right now. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Okay, so you can actually go and filter the release feature. Okay, now all the customers may not use all the functionality, so at least the ones which are applicable for your customer, if you are working for one of the customer now, then you need to work on the power. Now for each of these release feature, you will be preparing a document. Okay, one PPT you'll prepare with each release feature, explaining what is this feature, where to navigate, okay, why is it important for us. Now, how was the screen looking earlier and how is the screen looking now? So how do you get this information? If you log into preview system, you will see the change. You log into production system, you will not see that change before production release. So you take a screenshot from preview, the latest one, and production, the earlier one. Attach it in your document. And after the production release, you will see the new release features in every system.
Okay.
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 Okay then. So if you don't have any other doubts here, we'll move to a different topic. I think it's 8:25. So we'll stop it here for today. We'll continue on Monday with a different topic. We'll be discussing about the certification and the other theoretical part.
Okay, we know.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this
Veenu,
is available, this document is available, the latest release functionalities, PDF document and Excel is available in the drive. If you have already got the drive, just log in and download the documents and go through it. Yeah, go ahead.
Veenu, actually, do you have a separate contact or something, or even in the same group, in the WhatsApp group, we can actually ask for any doubts? Like, will you be comfortable with it?
You can check with your representative once if they can create a group, so that we can discuss.
Okay, so yeah, so that like even if we are getting any new kind of queries or anything strikes, we can actually put it in the group and we can discuss right there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, great, Venu. Thank you. Because my time here is like very untimed, like it's working hours, and yeah, I'll be stuck in the meeting or somewhere or the other, like midday of the. So I might be running late or catching up is little hard for this timing actually.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. No problem.
thanks, Venu. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. Have a great weekend. We'll catch up on Monday.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
Have a nice weekend.
Same to you.